Are you struggling to find space to store your preps? Today we're going to share some really great ideas, some of our own, some from you, that's going to help take away that excuse. Hey, Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene, and today we have something really special for you. A few weeks ago, we had put in one of our community posts. If you don't check the community post, you really need to go there because we've always got lots of great information. But we put a community post asking for some great ideas for space-friendly hacks to be able to store your preps, because that's a huge issue for a lot of us. And today, Jonathan and I are going to go through this little slide presentation and show you some fantastic ideas for increasing your space so that you can store your preps, because they're really important, but it's also really important that you live your life every day.
Absolutely. So small, steady steps move mountains.
And one of the ways that we can do that, one small steady step, is some creative shelving that increases your space, because when you go vertical, you just significantly increase that storage space. Now, this is a really cool idea. This is underneath a stairwell. You can see when in the middle picture where they open up that closet door and you're looking in. And what they did is they put CD shelves, like that hold CDs along the back of the bottom of the stairwell there, so that they had space, and they had a huge amount of food.
So it was space that was just completely unusable until some modifications were made. Very simple, actually.
And very inexpensive.
And very inexpensive, and turned this into some really incredible storage space. This was when we moved our daughters over to their apartments when they went to college. And we looked in that bathroom and there was no storage space at all. So very simple solution, very inexpensive solution, and suddenly you've created all kinds of space for important things.
Important things. Unmentionables, Jonathan.
Toilet paper.
And feminine products.
There we go. This is another example of that. When we built our home, we realized above our little bathroom enclosure where the toilet is, we had space above that doorway that's not even seen from outside the doorway. You can't even see it really. But you go in there and there's a massive amount of space. We have a year's supply of toilet paper and feminine products right there on that shelf above the door that nobody even sees. It's wasted space otherwise.
And just when you're looking at that amount of toilet paper is a year's supply for 4 people in our family. We measured it. This one is super cool. So we have some friends who had a basement bathroom that they didn't use, and they just put shelves. You can see there's a shelving unit inside of the bathtub and all along the wall, and even some boxes on the counter, so that they could store all of their winter squash, because they grow it every year and then they use it all winter long. And I just thought this was a fabulous idea. They leave the window cracked in that bathroom all winter long. So it's just a little bit colder, but what a great idea. Now, Jonathan, and this is my pantry, and Jonathan customized these shelves for us. Now, if you look in the far, it's left to me, is it left to them? Where that little yellow arrow is, it'll show you that the shelving goes all the way to the ceiling, because a lot of time it's that space above that we are wasting. And so we've got everything from floor to ceiling. In the center photo, you'll notice that where my number 10 cans are, we use these number 10 cans all the time, right? So these have the plastic lids on them because we're using these, but he built it so it's just the right amount of space for the can without any wasted space. And then one more on the right, the 5-gallon buckets that are on our floor were designed, that shelf was designed perfectly for that. And then we have shorter buckets, some, are they, what, 3 and gallon buckets or whatever?
Yeah.
On the next shelf up. And it was just designed perfectly to fit what we use. And I know not everybody has a Jonathan around to build things for them, but he's pretty good at that.
Here's another hallway closet that is deep, maybe a little bit unusable from first perspective, but shelves were put on both sides with a narrow aisleway, sufficient, but a massive amount of storage there in what appeared to be kind of unusable space.
And I have to tell you, we don't have a picture of this, but this is actually somebody's home who we dearly love. And John has gone in and put little fur strips so that now it's earthquake resistant. So there's all those glass jars that you see now have a little fur strip along. And what is it, like 3 or 4 inches up?
Yeah, about 4 inches up, just so that it catches anything that might want to fall off.
Yeah.
Either by human or natural events.
Now this is our bottle room, and you can see those fur strips like what we were just talking about. Those are there so that my bottles don't fall off my shelves.
And again, those were created maximizing the space. So those bottles just have barely enough room to get in and out of there. So we wanted to make sure that we just maximize every little bit of space that we can.
Like these are my bottle shelves, and this is a room downstairs. It's where my furnace is. So my furnace and my water heater and everything are in this room. So there's just this little amount of space, this little U shape. And John just decided, okay, we can do this, but this saves me because I can store hundreds and hundreds of bottles here, and it's easy to rotate them. It's easy to see what I have. And that's a huge piece of it, right? We want to be able to rotate and use everything. If they were all in boxes, I just couldn't take best advantage of that. Now, this is from one of our viewers, Vanita. Thank you so much. But this is just a picture of a closet where she has a shelving unit. And I don't think the shelving unit was actually designed for food storage. I think it was designed for something else. And then she has boxes stored right there on the right-hand side. Just a great use of space.
This is one that we love and that we encourage. Under this bed is enough food storage for that person from birth until they go off to college, but that's sufficient food for a year.
And for that year's supply, it depends on what you're storing. Rice has more calories than, say, a can of mashed potatoes. So you want to make sure that you take that into consideration. But what a huge benefit underneath that bed, that space. Another way that you can do it is, like, this is a little rolling tote that just slides back and forth under the bed. And in this one, it was designed actually for the person who is in that bed. It's not a long-term supply, it's just short-term, but you notice what's in there. Granola bars and ramen and cans of soup and peanut butter. This is a short-term emergency food supply that's just tucked right under the bed. And here we have another example. This is, I think it was a queen or a king size bed.
Right.
This is somebody else's. And they just have these boxes of food storage under there. And he has his little persuader right there, handy, ready to go. Now, this is from Marie and her son, Oliver. So Marie has a larger bed, and you look at all these 5-gallon buckets that are filled with food. And then Oliver has a smaller bed, a twin size bed. And yet she's been able to do the same thing. The mattress just fit right on top of that. Nobody knows the food is there. It's ready for an emergency, and it's not taking up any additional space.
In this case, again, this was when we sent our girls off to college. We went and got these risers. They're very inexpensive, and that just raised that bed up about 6 inches, which created a massive amount of space under there because we wanted them to have what they need. If there was a crisis, they'd have their food, their water, all these things right there handy.
And with them, not only was it emergency preparedness supplies, but it was like daily supplies. If you go to a college dorm, they have no storage space.
Right.
So, and this was Sam's when he went off to college. We did the same thing for him. And you can see he's got food storage under there. He's got all kinds of different stuff. And the photo credit here on the left-hand side with all of those bottles of water goes to Betty. Thank you, Betty. But what she's done is she's taken all these soda bottles, cleaned them out, and just laid them underneath the bed so that she has her water storage. And I thought that was a really clever idea. Back to the photo on the right, that's once again our girls' college dorm room. And the first thing mom and dad put in there were cases of water bottles. When we put the risers under those beds, they were, okay, they're not going to fall down, but there are ways to do it that are more secure. And so we looked online and found these really great tall bed frames. They weren't that expensive. I'll leave a link to them, but we have both twin size and queen size, and we've used these all over our house. They're super easy to put together. So this is our bedroom. This is what's underneath our bed. We have buckets of food storage, and you notice that these are kind of different sizes because we reuse a lot of different buckets. So unlike Maria's, where hers were all the same size, it would be really easy to put a mattress on hers. For ours, that wouldn't work. But this inexpensive bed frame is really secure. It's not going to fall. And yet it allows us a lot of storage space under there.
I think this is one of the slickest ideas out there, is just that ability to use that bed space that otherwise just gathers dust and you really don't use.
All right, so let's talk about how we can make improvised furniture from food storage boxes. I think we've got some clever ideas here. This was sent to us by Kevin in Washington, but it was created by Lana. Now, they've got all kinds of food in these different boxes that they have stacked, and then they created this cover, put a little plant on it. It's just in the corner. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know that there was food in there. What a clever solution. And this one is by Robin. I thought this was beautiful. So behind this couch, she has boxes of food storage and she's put a cover over it so you can't see. It has the lamps on it. You would think it was just one of those little side tables or wall tables. And if you look in front in the upper right-hand picture, you'll see that instead of a coffee table, she has this trunk where she can store food. You're not going to walk in this room and think, she's a prepper. You're going to think, oh, she's really creative. This is beautiful. And yet she's got a lot more space to store food.
This is one of the fun projects that we did when we visited one of our kids. And this was really cool. They have a big giant screen projector. And so they wanted stadium seating in there. You can see the front couch is low, the back couch is high. The back couch is high because we put it on boxes of food storage. Now, originally that was on cinder blocks that were, let's say, just a little bit sketchy. And I was worried about my little grandkids. So we said, well, why not put food storage under there? They made a little skirt to go around the couch so you can't see the food storage. It just looks like a nice little addition to that couch. And it's up high enough so that everybody can see the screen. But you've got a whole massive amount of food storage underneath there.
It was so fun. It was such a fun project for us to go work on with them. And it made us feel really good about increasing the amount of food that was under there. Now, this picture is from Kat. And she has several ottomans and side tables that are actually only boxes of supplies. And she usually covers them with a tablecloth or a blanket so that you can't really tell. Great creative solution. And this one is someone's home that we were privileged to go into. And when they took us into one of their rooms, the entire wall is just boxes of food storage from floor to ceiling, all against one wall. So that one, it's not as well hidden, and you could definitely find ways to hide that.
Sure.
But at least they have it, right? It's there. Okay, now think about any space that you have. We don't want to let any space go unused or underutilized. Do you have suitcases that are sitting around empty? Well, maybe if you're not on a trip, you should fill those with something, whatever makes sense for you and your family. This photo was sent to me by Mindy, or these photos, and she has some great ideas. She has ice chests, and instead of storing them empty, she stores them full of food. And if I remember right, she keeps them in her laundry room so that she can kind of hide the snacks that she doesn't want her kids to know about, as well as just take best advantage of space.
Now we're going to talk about using garage or outdoor space to best advantage. To start with, this is our garage before we did some fun little additions. And this is the garage after. We created a lot of space up high. Now, I don't put really heavy stuff in this because I don't want to overstress those trusses. I don't think I would, but there are a lot of things that don't weigh a lot. We're talking about blankets, we're talking about coats, suitcases go up there. All these very light things, but it gets them out of our way so that we can use our other space for more productive purposes.
Yeah, I have loved this. And we do have to have a ladder when we go to access it, but things are in totes and like our suitcases are up there and all those things that just take up a lot of space and that don't mind the heat in the garage. I wouldn't put food storage up there. And then the other thing in our garage that Jonathan has done is he has built a lot of super sturdy shelves. You can tell these are all made out of 2x4s and they cover the entire wall. And we put boxes clear up to touching the ceiling so that we take best advantage of all the space. And we're careful about what we put out here. You'll notice that there's a lot of things that don't have to go in the house, like our emergency heaters and things like that. One of the other things we did to free up some of the garage space was to build these little sheds that we had gotten at Costco. Now, these are plastic. They're not the best in the world, but they've taken all of my garden stuff out of the garage and put it near to the garden. So it's easier for me to access it. I'm not bringing all the bugs and stuff into John's garage, and it's freed up a lot of space. We actually built 2 of these.
Another possibility is to bury containers in the ground. Now, in this case, it became a root cellar, so we have potatoes stored in there. Again, we're talking thinking creatively out of the box or in the box.
Or in the dirt.
Depending how you're looking at this, but there's all kinds of places that you can store things. And this works perfectly because our potatoes stay good from late September clear till about the end of April, depending on the spring. It's the perfect storage temperature in there.
And he should know, because I'll leave a link to this video, but he has measured everything, which shouldn't surprise any of you. All right, this is a dear friend of ours. When we were touring his yard, he showed us how he stores his potatoes. And these are just, how many gallons?
15 gallon
barrels. And he just keeps them in the ground just like that. And that's how he stores some of his winter potatoes and things like that. I thought it was a great idea. There are drainage holes in these. So there are some different things that you would want to understand about that. In fact, I'll leave a link that talks about some of the root cellars that you can do that are different, and that will explain this. And then there's one final one. This was John's Uncle George.
Yes.
Who's amazing.
Yep, and same principle here. He has a metal garbage can with holes in the bottoms and just a little pallet that goes on the top of those. And again, he stores potatoes, carrots, beets, all those kinds of things through the winter.
I wouldn't store like number 10 cans in this because the moisture content's way too high. It's going to make it rust. But this is a great idea for storing vegetables over the winter. One last thing that I think is really important to think about when you're trying to figure out your space, consider having items that you would use every day that'll also work for emergency use. So for instance, these are our hybrid light flashlights and lanterns, and we cannot say enough good about them. I think every home should have them. The promo code is Provident. You'll get 20% off. So I'll leave a link to them. But these are fantastic solar flashlights and lanterns that will also charge your cell phone. I leave these in my window. I know where they are. They're always ready to go. So think about that. Are there items that if you chose a different one would work for an emergency as well as for every day, and then you take up less space that way? We were so worried sending our twins off to college because we were preppers and they were going to be far away and we wouldn't be there to help them and they wouldn't have all of our supplies. And one of the solutions that we came up for light for them was these special bulbs that you just screw into any standard lamp. And when you unscrew them and take them out, they just continue to work. So they're like this little portable flashlight for a while. Is it the perfect solution? No. Is it a great solution for somebody that can't have one more thing in their apartment? Yeah, it really is. And I think we just picked them up at Walmart.
Yeah. So the bottom line here is we conquer our challenges one step at a time. These small, steady steps take us places we want to go in a surprisingly short amount of time.
By watching this, which I thank you so much for spending time with us, and thank you for wanting to be better prepared. But by watching this, what ideas did you think of? Or what ideas can you share with our audience? We're all struggling, trying to find space for those things that really matter. And we could use your help. So put it in the comments below. Share with us what you've done, what great ideas. We'd love to have your pictures and show it to our audience. So we appreciate you. This is important. Don't overlook storing food to making sure that you have what you need to feed your family when times are hard. And thanks for being part of the solution.